the gavel. So that's fantastic. Everybody just can, it's a great conversation. Oh, I got to really, okay. Thank you. There's a lot to learn in my second time being the pro tem. Thank you, everybody, for attending the Cape Girardeau City Council meeting for December the 19th of 2022. This is our last City Council meeting for the year 2022. This has been a fast year. Let's everybody, Pastor Zach Strong from Christ Church of the Heartland is here to do our invocation. Guess not. Well, Geneva, would you be willing to do our invocation? And then afterwards, please stand with us and we will do the Pledge of Allegiance.
Let's bow our heads. Let us pray. Heavenly Father, we just thank and praise your holy name, for this is the day that you have made. We're indeed rejoicing and glad in it, dear Lord. We just thank you for the opportunity to be here at this last meeting of the year. We just ask that you be with our government, that you be with these city council leaders, and you be with everyone in this room, that you would, dear Lord, be with us as we go through this Advent and Christmas season, that we would really know the reason for the season as we look at those who are really in need tonight. So we just ask that you bless the agenda and keep us on your path as we meet tonight. This we pray in your name. Amen.
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Sorry for the informalities. I didn't properly introduce Geneva and Alan Patterson from St. James AME. Thank you very, very much for that. All right. So this evening, we are going to be starting out with a presentation from Southeast Missouri Pets. Ms. Craig, would you like to approach the podium? Yes.
Absolutely.
Wonderful.
I'm bringing Jen Farmer up. For those that have not met me, I am Charlotte Craig. I'm older than dirt. And I am the board president for Southeast Missouri Pets. Jen Farmer is our shelter operations manager. She has been a teacher in the past and a volunteer for us and can identify a therapy dog a mile away. True stories. So we're going to tag team. I am very informal. I kind of shoot from the hip. Gail tells me this is a real short, it's going to give you an overview of an awesome new facility that only took 42 years to acquire. So there's no narration. This is Phil Pinsel was our contractor, and these are Phil's aerial views. Phil saved us about $1 million on the building. We still spent 4.2 or 3, and we have raised over 3 million. And if some of you have been around, Mark can shake his head. That is absolutely unbelievable that we were able to do that. And it takes the community to support us. We've gone from a long time ago when people hardly knew who we were and what we did to a community that is supportive. So just real quick, I want you to see, if you have not been out there, if you would contact Jen or me, or Rika Salter, who is the interim director, wave your hand, Rika, and then Glenda Quinn, who is another board member. Any of us would meet you out there and be delighted to give you a tour. We went from 1,200 square feet to 12,000. A little few people have said, why so big? I was married to a real estate appraiser. When we built the health department 30 years ago, he convinced us that we need to build for 50 years from now, not for today. And that's exactly what we've done. This will take care of us. The old building that we're in it's about 80 years old. This will take care of us for a long time. This is our entryway. This is Boss Dog Alley, a wonderful couple named Bill and Susan Bailey. Gave us $500,000. Their brother's name, the dog's name was Boss. She lost her brother and her daddy. And we thought that the kennels should be named after her. The kennels are large. The building is large. All the kennels and all the facilities that accommodate our animals are prescribed literally by the Department of Agriculture. Do you know that we are regulated and licensed by the Department of Agriculture and inspected also by DNR? I'll go into that in just a minute. But the kennels had to be a certain size. We were grandfathered in the old building because we'd been there for since 82. But no longer were we grandfathered in. The dog, there's so many square inches that each animal and the cats had to have as well. All of our kennels are glass. We write our names on the kennel, the age of the animal. You can walk down. I don't know if you've ever been to the old facility, but you could not hear yourself think when you walked down the dog kennel. Now you can walk down, you can visit, pick out a dog that you want to look at, come to the front desk, tell Jen or one of the adoption counselors and get the dog out. We have 4. I don't know if we have any pictures of our visit rooms, but we have 4 visit rooms for adult dogs, and then we have a puppy room. We keep our puppies separate from our big dogs for the same reason that children have to be separated from adults if there's flu going around, because they're not totally immunized. It takes close to a year to get a dog immunized. So we keep our puppies separated from our big dogs. Everybody in the new facility is ready to go home. They are spayed, they are neutered, they are vaccinated, they are microchipped, they have their rabies. Do you know that we now have a contracted veterinarian 3 days a week? And now our dogs and cats, if you came in the old days and adopted an animal on Saturday morning at noon, all the veterinarian's offices were closed. So they had to have a rabies, and you cannot, it takes a veterinarian to give a rabies shot. As a nurse, I cannot give a rabies shot. But so we would have to wait, keep that animal until Monday morning, taking up that space and missing out and going home, and potentially getting infected in the old building, because disease was one of our main issues over there. And until Monday morning, get the rabies shot, and then could go home. So now everything in the new building is ready to go home with you. You come in, you find the animal that you want, and you take it home. This is our puppy room. How many puppies can we hold? 9?
More than that, because we have 3 runs that can hold up to 5 small puppies. So
This is our cat room. If you were a cat, our cats were so stressed out in that old building. They were right next door to all those dogs that were barking and carrying on. Now they have their entire separate area. There's no smell in our new facility. We have air exchange 6 times a minute. And thanks to Phil, one of the reasons we used Phil was that he is also certified in infection control. And it was important to him. And we added ultraviolet light. It goes through ultraviolet. Our air it's wonderful. Our cat rooms, this is what we call catification. Cats need horizontal and vertical space. My sister-in-law, after she took the tour, said, why would a cat ever want to go home? Because they have we have 4 rooms
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
5 community
5 rooms.
rooms, and then separate kennels.
Bunny's in one of them right now.
The bunnies are in the gym room. They're getting fit so they can find a home. This is our penthouse suite. This is the pool house suite, Zen room, and then Southeast Missouri Pets. Do you wonder why we changed our names? Well, so many people, and I try to stress this every time we give a presentation, think that the Humane Society of the United States supports local humane societies. True, Kenny? True. We have had people leave money to us, but call us the Humane Society of the United States. So in order, it's been, we have fought it for 40 years. We didn't realize that when we gave ourselves that little name. It was very appropriate. It's exactly who we are. We struggled, really. I personally struggled with changing the name, but new building, new name. And it should eliminate the confusion of this. They do not support local, they write legislation, they write policies, they're available, but they do not financially support anybody. So that's why we changed our name. We have grown from, I got on board with this probably in probably 1979, and I found our incorporation papers, and we were incorporated in 1976. We are a 46-year-old organization. We are here to stay. People think, as I said a minute ago, that HSUS supports us, that ASPCA supports us. We get our money, our income, by selling one chocolate chip cookie at a time. And I say that kind of teasing, but I actually mean it. We survive on donations. The only income that we have, and we don't necessarily count on it, are the contracts that we have with your jurisdictions. We do write grants. We've gotten much, much better at writing grants. We've actually grown up. We are not what I say, we're not your mother's shelter anymore. We're not. When I got on board back in 2011, we were saving 48% of our dogs. Can you guess how many dogs we're saving today? We're saving 90% of our dogs. We were saving 28% of our cats. We're saving 90% of our cats. And we're doing all of this while we're serving the citizens of the entire county and some other counties in southeast Missouri. I wear a public health cap a lot of times, and dog bites, cat bites, diseases are very much a public health issue. In the year, at the end of December, I have a handout for you all. Actually, it's the budget request. But at the end of December, we had taken in 2,665 animals. You want to pass that out? And I would say maybe the Gail probably needs one over here in West. Almost 3,000 animals. Your animal control officers, this was December 19th when we pulled these figures. Your animal control officers had brought in 344 animals. Our residents in the city of Cape had brought in 750 for a total of 1,094 animals. Almost half come from the city of Cape. We are a turnkey operation. Your animal control officer picks up the stray, puts it in the truck, comes to the shelter, and leaves, and you're done. We do the rest. We heat the facility, we keep them warm or cool. We feed them, we vaccinate them, we exercise them. We are required by law, by our statute. We're governed by some statutes with the Department of Agriculture, and you have to exercise them. So over in the new facility, as I said, we were grandfathered in, but we still did a lot of exercising. And your animal control issues are over. So not only do we do that, we're also saving animals, creatures. It used to be, pardon my being so blunt, but in the old days, I've been around for a long time, so has Rika. It was a slaughterhouse, and it's not anymore. We sometimes used to have to euthanize maybe 20, 30 animals a week. We might euthanize 50 a year now, and that's only done because of disease or aggression, or for some reason they are not adoptable. They cannot be adopted. I think that we also save the city money by the citizens being able to pick up the strays, bring them to the facility. They're kind of helping your animal control. They brought in 750. A lot of those are surrenders, and I can break those numbers down into who was a surrender and who was a stray. We can do that now. We've grown up with we've made an investment in the computer world. But 750 animals, I'm gonna guess maybe half that the animal control didn't have to deal with. So, am I missing some things, some programs while we are doing all of what I've just told you? I think that we are probably one of the best community assets you've got. I think when people come to town, and I've had people say this, some people bring their relatives to our place, our new place, to visit. We have a lot of out-of-town adoptions around holidays because people are bringing in their relatives. Other people, we've kind of become a destination. Will come out and just want to walk around. But our spare time, we have several programs. I'm going to be real brief, and I'll be done here in just a minute.
That was funny. You
What, hey?
said spare time, sorry.
Yeah. We have a program we call PUPS, Puppies Uniting People Successfully. This is a partnership with, this should be not community counseling center, family counseling center, young women who are on probation or parole. And they come out to our facility weekly and exercise or groom our dogs. And it's a relationship that instills stick-to-itiveness in the young girls' life. We get some volunteers from those young women that come out. It is a privilege for them to come out. It is not fun time, it's not joy time, it is work time. And they are recognized by, we are recognized by the Department of Corrections. We're the only pups in the state of Missouri. And it's the probation and parole officers have verbalized to us that they've seen a difference with the women that come out. They've seen a difference in their attitude and have had a bit more success than some of the girls that don't join. We are also a partner with the Women's Safe House. Some of us will open our homes at 2:00 in the morning if a woman or a man needs to leave home or wants to leave home and doesn't, there's a threat or a potential danger for their pet. We have people who will foster for up to 3 months so that they can get on their feet. Some people I know actually kept a couple of cats for 6 months. That was nuts, but I did it. We have a reading program with Prodigy. And what grades are those?
Second and third grade.
And would you explain that program?
That program is pretty awesome. They come in and basically they read to the dogs. But what you hear is a lot of dogs barking at first. You hear a lot of kids mumbling. You hear a lot of that. And then pretty soon all you hear is talking. And the dogs, yeah, I get chills because it's really,
It's awesome.
You just hear the dogs settle down. They go and you just hear the mumbling of the children reading. We're actually working with SEMO, Southeast Missouri University, doing a study on that. So look for that forward to, those research coming out soon too.
Gives the child confidence to read, and it calms the animal and relieves the stress of and they read to the cats as well. We have a program, Buddies for the Brave. If you are a veteran or active military, we knock off half of the adoption of a dog and all of the adoption fees for a cat. We could do humane education in schools. I've already stressed and told you how we've grown to no kill, something we're really very proud of. We were in Puppies for Parole program. That is where you take your animals and you go, they're in a correctional facility for 6 to 10 weeks. We had an awesome program going with Potosi and COVID killed it. And then our warden changed and he had an affection for someone in St. Louis. So we're not there anymore, but we are working since COVID's over, some of us are going to make an appointment and try to get back into some of those facilities. As I said, we're a turnkey operation. Now, I did a little investigating for you all because I want you to understand how valuable I think we are and how valuable we think we are to your city. I'm from Sikeston, and I have some ties there. And we actually helped them a few years ago get their organization going. They come underneath the city of Sikeston. In 2021, they took care of 181 dogs. And they took care of 76 cats. And they spent $216,000 doing that. 2 part-time people, 2 full-time people. And their income, they did some fundraising, they raised $21,500. Our organization raises almost $1 million. The contracts that we have with you all, Jackson, the county, we have a few small ones, tiny ones, really. It amounts to, at this point, actually less than 20% of our income. So I've got some chocolate chip cookies in the hall. I'm kidding. Do you have any questions? I could talk all night. I really could, but do you have some questions? Can I answer anything for you?
I don't have a question. It's just a statement. Charlotte, you and I go way back, obviously, and I toured the facility one day, and it's amazing.
It is amazing.
Having grown up in Cape and seen and adopted pets from the old Humane Society and now seeing Southeast Missouri Pets, it's amazing. So kudos to you and your board.
Thank you.
You should be certainly very proud of what you do and how you do it. And I'd urge more and more people to go out and adopt and support.
We really have become a destination facility. People really do come to Cape and come out there and visit. I'd love to have you all come. I really would. I hope you will. Okay.
I
Jen.
just want to make one comment, Charlotte, just very quickly. You were probably one of the first people I met when I first came to Cape Girardeau, so thank you for my first flu shot. But back when the pandemic began, I do recall the Humane Society trying to determine how you were going to be able to keep staff in the building with the threat of illness to staff. And one of the things that I remember that's so critical that we don't think about is that we were issued letters if you were working at the Humane Society as an essential worker. If you were an essential worker, you were allowed to be on the streets. If you were an essential worker, you were allowed to be traveling to work. We didn't know what the pandemic was going to do, but we had letters that said we were essential workers. The Humane Society is essential to the city of Cape Girardeau. It's essential to our citizens, and it's essential to our domestic animals. It's also essential to our humane education, which I know you had touched base on it briefly, but I would love to hear more about those humane education opportunities that we could have here in the city of Cape. So thank you so much for everything. And Jen,
Thank
thank
you.
you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much this evening. If anybody has a chance to go out to the Southeast Missouri Pets, please do. It's a beautiful facility, and it really is something that is a showpiece for the city of Cape Girardeau. So thank you guys very much for your dedication and your hard work. That is a wonderful, wonderful organization. All right, moving on. No more presentations. Let's see, I'm going to open it up to the council for communications and reports.
Everybody have a Merry Christmas.
Exactly. Merry Christmas. Any council members with reports?
I don't have any reports, but I just wanted to remind everyone to have a safe and healthy holiday. Also, if you have the ability to donate to your local shelters, or if you have an opportunity to be proactive in assisting our homeless population, it is going to be very cold this week. I know that the People's Shelter through St. James AME does house individuals in hotel rooms, so any donation to that organization would be greatly appreciated, especially this week. Thank you so much.
Exactly. I just wanted to make a statement that that I've said for years now is please make sure that you keep the health of yourself and your loved ones in your thoughts this holiday season. If that is vaccinating, boosting, wearing a mask, staying socially distanced, washing your hands should just be a standard practice now. So I feel like I can drop that one from my regular spiel, but please make sure that you continue to do that. Because you just want to make sure no matter what illness is going around that you keep yourself and your loved ones healthy and safe. I also wanted to give a big shout out to all of the graduates of Southeast Missouri State University this past weekend. Hopefully they have all found successful jobs right here in the Cape Girardeau marketplace, and they will continue to build our economy and continue to build our workforce. But congratulations, graduates. I hope you all go on to wonderful things. All right. We have a report from the Planning and Zoning Commission. Mr. Greaser.
Good evening, council and Dr. Haskins. So I apologize, I was not able to attend the meeting, so if there's any particular questions about that evening, I'd have to get back to you. But the meeting was December the 14th, Wednesday last week, and these are the items that were voted on. Request to rezone 2854 Cape LaCroix Road. The applicant was the Ferguson Management Group. The request was to rezone that particular property from R1 to R4, and the city staff recommended approval. The vote was 6 in favor, none in opposition, and no one abstained. The next item was to rezone 2530 Marcia K Drive. The applicant Jeff and Carolyn Gibson. The request was to rezone property from R1 to NC. The recommendation was denied by the council, by the commission, with no one in favor, 6 in opposition. And I can say that after talking with another member that there were several from the neighborhood who were concerned about, I think about traffic in particular and access to their properties. The next item was for the request to approve the financial development plan for Southside Farms Plan Development. The applicant was Kaler Engineering and Land Surveying on behalf of St. Francis Foundation Real Estate LLC. The request was to approve the final development plan, and the recommendation from the city staff was for approval. 5 voted in favor and 1 abstained. Next item was Southside Village Subdivision Record Plat located at the northwest corner of Walnut and Bodian Lane. The plat re-subdivides 3 tracts to create 2 new lots. The recommendation by city staff was for approval, and there were 5 votes in favor with 1 abstention. Next item was the Bertrand Subdivision Record Plat located at 2062 Silver Campine Lane. The plat combined several tracts to create 1 new lot. The city staff recommended approval, and there were 6 votes in favor. And then finally, the Gooden Subdivision Record Plat at 1802 and 1812 Broadway combined several tracts to create 1 new lot. The recommendation from the city staff was to approve, and the vote was 5 in favor and 1 in opposition. And that concluded the matters before the commission last week.
Any questions?
Nope.
All right.
Thank you all very much.
Thank
Merry
you, Kevin.
Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Thank you.
All right, we now have some time in our agenda for anybody who would like to make an appearance as an advisory board applicant. If anybody in the audience would like to get up and talk about their advisory board interests.
Sure. Andrew Strasky, 131 Winterfield Circle. I applied for something. I don't even know what positions, but you got it. I don't know. You have it up there?
For advisory board? Or are you here to talk about an advisory board applicant? Because I believe you're also on the agenda for
Yeah.
this after, or the after the.
For both.
Yeah, okay. Which
Okay.
advisory board interests you?
Gosh, I wish I had the list in front of me. Thank you. One was with the River Campus and Special Business District.
Okay.
And there's a third. I can't think of that right now.
Excellent.
And the reason I like to be on these advisory boards, because as you all know, I got this initiative for the trainings, and I want to bring, being on advisory board, bring everyone together. Like I was at the Planning and Zoning Commission that this gentleman talked about. Everything you said happened. Yes, abstains to that. And that's all I got to say about, wanting to be on the advisory board.
Excellent. Thank you.
And then, yeah, I got other stuff. Yeah.
Excellent.
But
Thank you very much. All right, we're going to move into the consent agenda review. Dr. Haskin.
Thank you, council. We have, I think, 4 items for discussion this afternoon. We have a voluntary annexation petition for property located at 3101 County Road. That's number 7. We're going to accept the public sewer infrastructure improvements to serve the Cuba Financial at 3224 Independent Street. Number 8, another acceptance of water system improvements for the McDonald's at 1701 North Kings Highway. And then, of course, we have number 9, another public acceptance infrastructure improvement for the Cross Trails Medical Center. That concludes the consent review.
Fantastic. Thank you, Dr. Haskin. We are going to move into regular session. The city clerk will do a roll call to order.
Mr. Bliss? Here. Mr. Guard? Here. Mayor Kinder, absent. Mayor Pro Tem Preston?
Here.
Ms. Randall?
Here.
Mr. Thomas?
Here.
Ms. Truxell?
Here.
All right, everybody is in attendance. Can I get a motion to adopt the agenda?
I make a motion, we adopt the agenda.
All right, all of those in favor? Say aye.
Aye.
All right, we have no public hearings this evening, and so we're going to move into our consent agenda. Mr. Young.
Bill 22-181, an ordinance amending Chapter 30 of the Code of Ordinances of the City of Cape Girardeau, Missouri by changing the zoning of property located at southwest corner of Lexington Avenue and Big Bend Road in the city and county of Cape Girardeau, Missouri from R1 to RUMD. Bill 22-181, an ordinance amending Chapter 30 of the Code of Ordinances of the City of Cape Girardeau, Missouri by changing the zoning of property located at the southwest corner of Lexington Avenue and Big Bend Road in the city and county of Cape Girardeau, Missouri from R1 to RUMD. Bill 22-182, an ordinance amending Chapter 30 of the Code of Ordinances of the City of Cape Girardeau, Missouri regarding CBD Central Business District. Bill 22-182, an ordinance amending Chapter 30 of the Code of Ordinances of the City of Cape Girardeau, Missouri regarding CBD Central Business District. Bill 22-183, an ordinance accepting a permit utility easement from Rhodes Properties LLC for property located at 1701 North Kings Highway in the City of Cape Girardeau, Missouri. Bill 22-183, an ordinance accepting a permit utility easement from Rhodes Properties LLC for property located at 1701 North Kings Highway in the City of Cape Girardeau, Missouri. Bill 22-184, an ordinance accepting 2 permanent water line easements from John A. Hewer and Newbridge Properties LLC for property located at 1205 South Mount Auburn Road in the City of Cape Girardeau, Missouri. Bill 22-184, an ordinance accepting 2 permanent water line easements from John A. Hewer and Newbridge Properties LLC for property located at 1205 South Mount Auburn Road in the City of Cape Girardeau, Missouri. Bill 22-185, resolution acknowledging receipt of an annexation petition for property located at 3101 County Road 620 and setting a public hearing regarding proposed annexation.
Thank you, Mr. Young. Council, you have before you the consent agenda.
So moved.
Mr. Guard,
Second.
Ms. Truxell, thank you. All right, any discussion? I guess we can't do discussion for that. All right, all those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Excellent. All right. New ordinances. Bill number 22-186, an ordinance approving the record plat of Cape West Crossing East, second subdivision, first reading. Ryan Shrimplin is not here this evening, but we have some.
Sir, I will take care of that
All
for him.
right, fantastic.
This ordinance is approving the record plot of Cape West Crossing East, second subdivision. This is an ordinance to change 2 commercial lots from C2 into 3 commercial lots. Staff reported to the Planning and Zoning Commission recommended approval. On April 13, 2022, recommendation approved by the Planning and Zoning with a 9-0 vote.
Excellent. Thank you very much. Do we have anyone here to speak in opposition or in pro for this? All right, hearing none. Council, do I have a motion for bill number 22-186? All right, Mr. Bliss.
Second.
Mr. Thomas. All right, all those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Excellent. All right, we have 2 appointments this evening. The first appointment is for the Convention and Visitors Bureau Executive Board, and it looks like that appointment is for Elisa Ferries. Can I get a motion to accept Elisa Ferries' nomination to the CBB Board? All right, Mr. Bliss, Mr. Guard. All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All right. And then we have another appointment this evening to reaffirm Mr. Guard's seat on the Magnet Board of Directors, which is now going to be renamed South SEMO Ready. Can I get a motion to reseat Mr. Guard on that Board of Directors?
I'll make a motion to reseat Robbie Guard.
All right. Ms.
Second.
Truxell and Nick Thomas. All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Oh, there we go. Excellent.
About your position? Oh, okay. I thought it was both of you.
No. All right. In other business, do we have any other business to discuss? Now I'm starting to get hazy on my, okay. Excellent. All right. The appearance is not on the agenda. Thank you, Mark. All right. Appearance is not on the agenda for this evening. The first up is Cynthia Durgan. She is not here. All right. Next one is Mr. Ostrowski. You have 3 minutes to discuss any in front of the council, so let us know what your thoughts are.
Great. Andrew Strowski, 131 Winterfield Circle. I've had a couple things. One is the update about, I'm just letting you guys know about my initiative for the trains and that is, I never heard back from the director of the United Way. So I'm just going forward, okay? So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna look for a place for April. I'm thinking about the library and just contact the commissioners of Cape County, Perry, Bonner, and Stoddard, and county seats and invite them in to show them my plan. That's one. Another thing, well, I got another thing I want to talk about too, is the university here in Cape now having a positive or negative impact on community? The reason I say that is because last century, we didn't have the internet. And so people say, well, yeah, you're spending money here. But now we have the internet. You get Amazon and everything like that. So they could be spending money there. And also, how many people are not from this area, but come school here, and then we have to use the emergency rescues to respond. Please send ambulance and that. And I just think there should be a study maybe.
During this portion, we often do not provide any feedback.
Right, that understandable. So I hope y'all taking notes then. All right, thank you.
Thank you. All right. Next up is Mr. Peter Hertz.
Good evening, managers, council members, and Dan Preston, our Nard One, in which I belong to. As you remember, last week or 2 weeks ago, I was here complaining about the dirt on the streets. It wasn't dirt, it was mud. So I'm here tonight to thank Dan, the council, who got the ball rolling to try to make him clean it up. I want to thank Trevor Pulley, Brian Taylor, and especially a big thank you to Andrew Mayer, or Meyer, however it's pronounced. He came out and did a physical inspection of it. He said, it's not just Hill Street. They have 4 streets that are all muddy. So I'm not like, I have numbers now that I can call, and I will not take any more time of the council members. Thank you.
Have a Merry
Thanks,
Christmas. Yes.
All right. That concludes our pre-scheduled appearances for items not on the agenda.
Would it be possible to mention one thing?
What would you like to mention?
We have the possibility of some severe weather coming.
Here, why don't you come on up and tell us your name and your address and.
Yes, David Atkins, 133 East Cape Rock Drive, one of the older houses here in town. We have some severe weather coming our way possibly. I would like to remind people that there are 3 things that you can do while driving that will really, really reduce the number of accidents and therefore congestion and therefore the involvement of police and possibly rescue. Number 1, drive slowly. Number 2, pump your brakes. Number 3, drive slowly. If you do these 3 things, it will help everyone a lot. Thank you.
Thank you. That's actually a very timely reminder. Thank you very much.
Mhm.
All right, that concludes all of the items on this evening's agenda. I would just like to say to the city of Cape Girardeau, have a happy holiday season, stay safe and stay warm. So thank you all for your work. And can I get a motion? What was that? Oh, sorry. Just a quick reminder, the January meetings, because of different holidays, will fall on the second and the fourth Monday, not the first and the third Monday of the month. So our next meeting is January the 9th. So we will reconvene in 2023 on January the 9th. So second and fourth Monday of that month. All right, do I have a motion to adjourn? Second, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.